Sunday afternoon in lower downtown Denver. The Rockies trying to get it right this afternoon against the Seattle Mariners. It has been a tough series thus far. The Rockies have lost the first two ball games against their visitors from the American League West. And good afternoon, everybody. A happy Sunday afternoon for all of you. Yesterday, not a happy Saturday. The Rockies lost 10-3. They've been struggling offensively, and as you know, throughout the season, they've been struggling on the hill. And the Rockies made a move today before the ballgame. Rex Brothers, who at the start of the year was the Rockies' eighth inning man, he was optioned to Colorado Springs, 2-2 with a .587 ERA this year. Adam Ottavino, who was picked up earlier this year from St. Louis, is back to the big leagues with the Rockies. Jim Tracy on this move just about an hour ago.
He's out of sync. Everything's too fast right now. His body's too fast. His mind's working too fast. He's in a hurry to get things done. We're seeing the result before working the process. And so we need to slow that down, and that needs to be done in AAA for a period of time so we can get him back. Because having this young man pitch in the fifth or sixth inning of a one-sided game is asinine, in my opinion.
Well, Jim Tracy very forthright as I bring in my partner, Jeff Houston, and we've seen Rex Brothers very, very good, but he has been, unfortunately, very, very inconsistent.
Yeah, and it's the right move for him. As much as a player doesn't like to hear that, I've been that guy where I've had to go down 3 or 4 or 5 times, and each time you're sent out, you learn something about yourself, about the game, and how to slow it down, as Jim Tracy was saying, and that's where Rex needs to get back to. When he is confident out on the hill, he's throwing strikes, working ahead. You thought he might have turned the corner in San Francisco the other day, and then he goes out, and it just didn't happen. Take a step back, take a deep breath, because you don't want to lose a quality, great arm like Rex Brothers when you don't treat it right and get it right.
That means on the plus side now, late in ball games, you'll see, along with Belisle, Renicky, and Josh Outman, at least for the time being, setting it up for Rafael Betancourt. Rockies need to get a lead to that stage of the game. That has been problematic of late. Jeremy Guthrie's on the hill today. More on him in a moment. the Seattle Mariners, and then it is off to Miami, Florida to meet up with the Marlins beginning tomorrow night. Back upstairs with my partner, Jeff Hewson. We talk about a guy that hasn't pitched here in more than a month, which is amazing. Jeremy Guthrie will be going against Blake Bevan today. Of course, Jeremy missed some time, so just his second start this year at 20th and Blake.
Yeah, his last outing was in San Francisco, went 5 1/3, 4 hits in that outing, just 1 earned run, a little over 90 pitches. So you can look for him to go out and throw 115, 120 pitches. And the key for Jeremy, just like any pitcher that we talk about here at Coors Field, is get that sinking fastball down, get quick outs, work ahead in the count, because the numbers at home and the road aren't as good as you would like, obviously, when you're seeing an ERA here at Coors Field at 10 and out on the road below 2. But with Jeremy, you know that he's working on throwing from the mid-thigh to below the knee, to use the defense, to get those guys involved early. With the sinker ball pitcher, that to me was always the key as an infielder when I was coming to the park. Is that sinker working? Because I know I'm going to get a lot of action.
Absolutely, and the inconsistencies with this staff right now. Jeremy Guthrie was summoned in a trade from Baltimore to be the guy to stop a losing streak, to be Mr. Consistent. He'll have it this afternoon. The Rockies and Mariners. Come on back to Coors Field with us. To by your neighborhood Toyota stores. Toyota moving forward by CenturyLink, fast speed and a low monthly price. Visit CenturyLink.com. By Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. By Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Jeremy Guthrie, in search of career win number 50, takes to the Coors Field mound on a very pleasant Sunday afternoon. Dustin Ackley has been batting leadoff for more than 2 weeks now for Seattle. Of course, for years, that spot was occupied by Ichiro. Eric Wedge made the change in spring training. Ichiro bats third on a daily basis now. The Southwest batting order for Wedge. Michael Saunders will be sandwiched between Ackley and Suzuki. Seager's had a big series. Jesus Montero, 3 hits yesterday. Justin Smoke, Mike Carp, Brendan Ryan. And then the pitcher, Blake Bevan. First pitch of the ball game is in there, strike 1. Now, typically, both Guthrie and Bevan, Huey, big-time strike throwers.
Yeah, they're not going to walk a lot of guys, and they shouldn't. When you're not overpowering, you need to be able to throw it down into the zone. You see his numbers out on the road. His batting average against is just 167. At home, a 383 batting average against. And that's something that Jeremy would like to change in this start. His last 2 starts, he's gone 12 1/3, 7 hits, just 1 earned run. Of course, there was a DL stint in between those 2 starts.
Well, he's ahead of Dustin Ackley, 1-2. And Ackley fouls that pitch off. Talking to Mike Blowers, your old teammate who does the color work on television for Seattle, and he thinks that Ackley one day will be a 20-25 stolen base guy.
Well, he has the speed. This year he has 3 stolen bases in 4 attempts, and just getting more comfortable doing that.
Came inside at 95. One of the interesting stat lines, Huey, with Guthrie this year is we've seen him touch 97. I mean, he will move his fastball anywhere from 90 when he sinks it all the way up to the upper 90s. Yet he struck out only 9 in 29 2/3.
Well, when he's throwing it that hard, they don't get the movement.
This ball is well hit center field. Eric Young going back, still going back, and he's going to have to field it off the base of the wall. And it's a lead-off double for Ackley. That ball was hit well over 400 feet straight away.
When you talk about staying centered, this is exactly what Dustin Ackley does. The ball is down and away from him in the zone. Watch on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo, though, how the hands are traveling right along the path of the inside part of the plate, and he drives it to center field over the head of Eric Young Jr. Right at the base of the wall.
Michael Saunders at the plate. He takes ball 1. 25th career double for Ackley. Closing in on Helt. He's got 536 to go to catch him. Good looking young player, Dustin Ackley.
Well, you don't get to be the number 2 pick overall if you don't have skill.
And a lot of it. 2-0 on Saunders. And this ball is a towering fly ball to deep right center field. EY will make the catch right at the base of the wall. And moving up 90 feet as he should is Dustin Ackley. Saunders came within a smidgen of hitting that thing out of here.
Yeah, I was going to say that just shows you the strength of Michael Saunders, because this thing was as high as it was far. Eric Young Jr. no regard for that wall. He knows when he hits the warning track, he has 2 strides before he's going to run into it, but braces himself and gets the ball back in.
He's really improved as an outfielder.
Oh, he has, but a lot of hard work.
Well, that's like his middle name.
Yeah.
He's the first guy here every day. When we talk about punch outs, it's overrated in some terms, but these are where you try to get a punch out. Runner at third, less than 2 outs. This guy's impossible to strike out, though, typically. Ichiro.
Just 11 strikeouts and 171 at bats.
Had a good series, 3 for 9. 2 hits Friday, 1 for 5 yesterday.
What's interesting about Ichiro this year, he's just hitting 167 with runners in scoring position. In his career, he's a 329 guy.
2-1, and he's hit beneath 300 lifetime against Jeremy Guthrie. He has more at bats against Guthrie than anybody else naturally in the Seattle lineup. Ichiro 276, 8 for 29 lifetime against Guthrie. It's 2-2.
I think I would bring the infield in now with 2 strikes. At least try to cut off the run.
This early in the ballgame?
Yeah, I mean, you struggled in the first 2 games to score runs.
Well, they're doing
I just don't want to give him a freebie.
And he struck him out away. So Ichiro, who doesn't fan much, and Guthrie, who hasn't fanned many this year, and somehow that combination clicked for Jeremy Guthrie. 2 outs.
This is about as feeble a swing as we've seen from Ichiro ever. I mean, that looked like a pitcher trying to hit.
That was a running 96-mile-an-hour fastball. And Kyle Seager has been one of the big bats in this series for Seattle. Seager, 4-game hitting streak, 7 for his last 17, 3 for 4, including a home run yesterday. He drove in 3. He's another one of those guys. They don't have a big power guy unless smoke really develops, but he's a guy like Ackley, Huey, that I think is going to be probably a 40 double guy.
Well, and this year he's on pace for 100 RBIs, so that's why he's hitting 4th. But to go left on left and to drive it out just shows you the power of Kyle.
Pretty simple swing.
Very simple. There's not a high leg kick. The hands are already back. Get the foot down and fire him.
3-0. And Guthrie, I think, is being really careful here because the guy on deck has a lot more in terms of holes than Seager. That's Jesus Montero.
Yeah, and also what Seager's done in the last 2 ball games of this series. 5 hits, 3 RBIs. No, 5 RBIs, excuse me, for Seager. Yeah, I'd be shocked if it's a fastball.
3-1, it was not. Slider, and it's 3-2.
Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo right out of the hand from Jeremy Guthrie. The slider, the fingers on the seam, and then just pull down real hard as you get to the full extension point and watch it dive.
Ball 4. Time to check the defense for the Rockies. You noticed Eric Young Jr. playing for Dexter Fowler in center. Cargo and Kadire flanking him. Pacheco, Tulowitzki, Scudero, and Helton in the infield. And throughout this series, it's been Willeen Rosario. Hernandez kind of banged up and has a little bit of tendonitis in his left hand. So 2 on and 2 outs for Jesus Montero. 3 hits yesterday.
Well, that's not a list you want to be on. But I'm with you, Drew. I think that walk to Kyle Seager, though, was an unintentional, intentional walk because he felt more comfortable facing Jesus.
1 ball, 1 strike. That's smart pitching. As long you hopefully execute with the next guy in line.
That's the key. Execute to get this guy out. Keep that guy at third base. Get out of this inning without giving out a 2-out RBI.
1-1. That's a foul ball. Seager's going to come back. 1-2. And Guthrie's a Pacific Northwest guy. He's from Oregon. Facing the Seattle Mariners.
Well, this will be his 10th start today against the Mariners.
2-5 lifetime with a pretty good ERA, 3.72. All those years pitching for the Baltimore Orioles. And I like that decision because this is one of those counts. Not early in a game would you think Eric Wedge will take the bat out of Montero's hands, but
yeah, young catcher behind the plate.
Yeah, you got a delayed steal situation potentially. And there he goes. He went late. Here he comes home, and the throw's way off line. We just talked about it. Rockies didn't execute. Rosario's throw was way off the mark, and the Rockies basically hand Seattle a run. That is poor execution defensively.
And the right call by you on the delayed steal with the 1-2 count. Kyle Seager takes off. Once the ball crosses home plate, it's a shuffle, shuffle, take off. You try to catch everybody napping, and where the throw was so far on the shortstop side that by the time Marco Scudero got it, he had no momentum and tried to throw off balance, but threw it away, allowing Kyle to move to third on the air.
It's a double steal. It is a steal of home for Ackley and an error on Scudero, allowing Seager to end up at third base. Now it's 3-2 on Montero, and for the second time in this series, the Rockies have given up at least one in the first inning, and that pitch wasn't handled real well by Rosario. A walk to Montero, and it's first and third again, and here comes the switch hitting first baseman Justin Smoke.
Fourth error of the season for Scudero. 3 of them have been at second base, 1 at shortstop.
So here's Smoke, and the breaking ball's in there for a strike.
Now also that pitch count. This next pitch will be the 28th pitch for Jeremy Guthrie.
And again, it's that TOD, man. Again, time on defense.
And this is the last thing you wanted to do for, if you're the Rockies. We give the Mariners momentum after they've had it for the first 2 games. If you come out and you have a shutdown first inning, then you think things are going to be different if you're playing on the other side.
Well, every day baseball players learn this. You know, shower well. Each day is a new day, and it gives you an opportunity to have a good day and then build on it. You can't win 10 in a row without winning 1, and you can't win a ball game, you know, without playing 1 inning at a time, the whole proverbial 1 pitch at a time. But now you just lose a little of that whatever bounce in the step you were trying to have today. You lose a little bit out of the gate. This is going to drive in another run. A base hit to center field for Smoke, and it's 2-0.
And all with 2 outs.
And you're hearing some boos here on a Sunday afternoon, and the game's not 10 minutes old. Smoke with his 13th RBI. And that'll bring up Mike Karp, who homered on Friday night. Well, the Rockies hopefully have a big day offensively. If they do, and they score more than 7, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the following day between 4 and 6 and get your Rockies taco special. Here's an unofficial stat somebody probably keeps somewhere. I'd be willing to bet Bob Apodaca's made more visits to the mound than any other pitching coach in the National League this year.
You're hard pressed to find somebody else that has done it more.
That steal of home by Dustin Ackley, the 16th time in Seattle Mariners history they have stolen home. This is a 30-plus inning for Jeremy Guthrie. And the other frustrating thing, Jeff, is this Seattle team, they're not to be confused with the Texas Rangers offensively.
No, they're 13th in the American League in average. Get out of it this inning and get those bats going.
Clark grounds out 3-1, and the Mariners put 2 on the board. He'll lead things off this afternoon for Jim Tracy. Take a look at the rest of the Southwest batting order for the Rockies today. Marco Scutaro bat second. Cargo, Tulowitzki, and Helt Kadire sixth. Willeen Rosario, who homered yesterday. Jordan Pacheco will bat eighth in front of Guthrie. And Pacheco has been one of the very few to enjoy a solid homestand offensively. Blake Bevan, 23-year-old, drafted in the first round out of high school in Irving, Texas. Quite a high school quarterback in Irving, Texas as well. He is a guy that throws strikes. Look at that, 21 walks and 22 career starts.
Yeah, and he's done it his whole career that way. He does not walk guys, just 21 walks in his 22 major league starts for Blake. Some might remember that he was the losing pitcher when Philip Umber pitched the perfect game for the Chicago White Sox.
And the fascinating thing about that is Umber, who's from Texas, and Blake Bevan had the same high school coach, Jay Malone. Oh and 1 on Junior. Quality swing. No glass broken. 0 and 2.
That's always the key. We'll have a delay for the glass breakage.
See that once every couple of years in the NHL. Strike three, went to a slider, and Eric Young Jr. is gone.
Well, 3 pitches. First 2 were the fastball. The last one was the slider. And all 3 of them did catch the forward strike zone. Not quite the complete red dot that you would like to see on a slider. Not the hard late breaker, but enough to freeze Eric.
Now, Marco Scutaro normally bats leadoff, with Eric Young Jr. getting the start. Scutaro for the second time this year batting in the 2-hole. One ball, one strike. Bevan was part of the Cliff Lee trade, that monster deal that sent Cliff Lee to Texas. Bevan originally drafted by the Rangers.
Well, Smoke was in that deal too.
Yeah.
And Bevan will only throw 91, 92. He will top out at 93, but for a big guy that played quarterback in high school, you would think at 95 or 96 would be coming out of the arm. But he spots the ball, and he's not going to give you a free pass.
Slider misses. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Scutaro. Rockies trying to find a way to climb out of a real funk. They've lost 6 of 7 at home. They're just 4 and 13 in May. And he works underneath this ball, and pop up to shallow right. And Ichiro calls off. Ackley 2 gone. And let's officially check the gloves for Seattle. And outfield of Mike Karp, Michael Saunders, and Ichiro. In the infield, Kyle Seager, Brendan Ryan, Dustin Ackley, Justin Smoke. And Jesus Montero is doing the catching. This is all you need to know about how tough it's been for the Rockies at home this year. Normally they are terrific, though last year they were under 500. This ball's hit a long way center field. Did he get it? Yes, indeed. Carlos Gonzalez didn't wait long. 1 pitch, and he takes Bevan deep, and it's a 2-1 ball game. Number 8 for Cargo. Hit it so far, he ignited the fountains.
Left-handers are hitting 316. He'll go up now off of Bevan. Carlos knew when he hit it that it had enough juice. Home run hitters know that. And what a nice feeling for Carlos, because he had just been 3 for 15 on this homestand prior to that home run.
That's his first home run since May the 2nd. Tulowitzki steps in. And I'll finish the story I was going to tell you about how rough a ride it's been for the Rockies at home, with guys that have at least 50 at bats this year at Coors Field on the Rockies roster. Cargo's the only one hitting over 300. I mean, it used to be, you know, you had 3, 4, 5 guys in your lineup hitting above 300 at 20th and Blake.
Yeah, that just tells you why they're 9 and 13. But that'll change. You know, hitting's so contagious, pitching is contagious. This whole game of baseball, when things turn around, because right now they seem pretty dark. But when it turns around, then everybody, that light bulb goes on for everybody.
And that's what you have to hope for. Here's the 2-0 to Troy. And it's high 3-0. That's a big swing right there, not only for the obvious, but first 2 guys making out. You're already down 2-0. You get into that here we go again mode, and now Cargo gave that dugout a lift. Even if nothing else happens this half inning.
Yeah, you got one marker back, and you don't feel like, you know, 2 is such an insurmountable lead, and then it coax a walk out of Troy. You bring up Todd Helton.
Not surprising, we're going to look at this swing again. Not surprising, he eats a ball away.
Yeah, but notice the extension. He's coming down to the ball that way. I mean, look at that, right on the sweet spot. And then the hands, the top to bottom, everything that's working through there. And then the hips finish it off. What a glorious swing.
There's a strike on Todd. Ball, 1 strike. Todd's April was solid, and then he had some big hits. The walk-off home run, the grand slam, pinch hit grand slam. Hit 254 in April. 4 home runs. He drove in 16, but in May just 190 and no home runs, 5 RBIs. Trying to find his timing.
And that's what it is. It's all a timing issue for Todd, because when you're not comfortable, and it doesn't look like Todd has a swing where he wants it, he's swinging earlier in the counts than we've seen him do in his career.
This ball's pretty well hit, but Ichiro is going to make the catch in front of the track. In the inning, Carlos Gonzalez gets the Rockies on the board with a long home run to dead center. 2-1 Seattle after 1.
Field, Seattle with a 2-1 lead. It's a good day for Eric Young Jr. He gets a start, a rare start, his third of the season, and it's a good day for his brother, 5-year-old Dallas Dupree. Yes, EY Sr. remarried and had another son. Dallas is in Houston, and he wants to be EY Jr. He wears number 1. He's playing with the 7-year-olds. He's a switch hitter, and he's watching this game here today because he doesn't miss EY Jr. at all. It is his hero, so we say hello to Dallas Dupree, his brother. Guys?
You know what? It's so funny, Mark, that you had that story about Junior's little brother who he absolutely adores. And because I was talking to him about little Dallas today, and he knows geographically every city in the major city in the country. He said it's easier if you just say Indians, and it'll go Cleveland and get pointed out on the map.
Hey, whatever it takes to learn how to the states.
This is in the air to deep left. Cargo will have a play. And Brendan Ryan is retired, 1 out. Join in on the conversation with Toyota Talk. Text Toyota to 720-720. Share your questions, insights, comments, plus learn how to win a $500 gas card. Blake Bevan getting to swing the bat for the first time this year. He's not all that far removed from swinging it in high school. He's a big dude, man. 6'7".
No wonder he was a quarterback. See over the lineman.
Yeah, the Broncos just drafted a 6'7" quarterback. Yeah, Brock Osweiler. 2 strikeouts in the game for Guthrie. 2 outs.
Hey fans, great news. Fireworks start early this year on Memorial Day. It's after the second game of the day-night doubleheader against the Houston Astros. You don't want to miss out on that. Fireworks are always a neat deal. Go to ColoradoRockies.com and get your tickets today, or all the usual places that you get them. But make sure you get tickets for the Astros series.
Ackley doubled to the base of the center field wall last inning. He would come around to score on a double steal. Wonder if he ever did that at Carolina.
I'm sure they do that sort of stuff in college.
And even more so now with the
BB Core bats.
With the BB Core bats. Home runs per game have dropped off the last couple of years at the collegiate level. Here's a 2-1. And it's off the end of the bat. Nice job by Guthrie. That's a real nice job, because that ball was spinning, you would assume, quite a bit. So Jeremy Guthrie, after a laborious first inning, has a 1-2-3 second inning. 2-1 Seattle. Brought to you by the region's Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, your local consumer-owned electric cooperative delivering reliable power, energy-saving tools, and more. Visit togetherwesave.com. Rafael Betancourt Tuesday in San Francisco got the save, his 7th of the year. Michael Kadire will lead things off against Bevan. Michael's cooled off. He's 0 for 13 on the homestand. He was talking after the ball game yesterday. Said, with all due respect to Jason Vargas, said Vargas a good pitcher. He said, but he's had the good fortune of pitching against us right now where it seems like everybody's cold at the same time. Vargas yesterday did not give up any runs until the 7th inning. He had a 2-hitter going, 2-hit shutout going to the 7th. Ends up giving up 3. Giambi got that rally started. Of course, there was a 2-run home run by the kid Willeen Rosario.
Yeah, for his 6th home run of the season for Rosario, which is 2nd on the ball club, only trailing Carlos Gonzalez, who now has 8.
Yeah, and for Willeen, he has only 65 at bats. Kadire, ground ball up the middle and on through. That's exactly what Michael needed. So Kadire leads off the 2nd with a single in front of the aforementioned Rosario. Wells Fargo customers, get your 2-for-1 Rockies tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. They went shopping in the same store. You know, our buddy next door, Dave,
Dave Simmons.
He's got a new hat company going, new hat collection. I said, the only client you need is Sarge, Gary Matthews,
Yes.
Philadelphia. Sarge always has a fedora on. He's got, I mean, he must have like 3 rooms of hats at his house.
Have to bring an extra suitcase on the road just for his hats.
That's a strike, 1-1 on Willeen.
Watching Willeen in batting practice today, he was really trying to stay to right center field. The hardest thing to do after you hit a home run is to not get out of your good swing path and think, I can hit every pitch out.
Excuse me, swing. Here's our buddy Dave Sims. He's got one of his lids on right there. Boys are helping run his new venture. It's a good looking man.
Yeah, it is. And a good man.
Oh, Dave's terrific. Lives in Manhattan and spends his summers calling the Seattle Mariners. Does a lot of national stuff. Sunday Night Football on radio. 1
Very
ball and
wide
2
range.
strikes. Yep.
Well, the game this spring when we did the shared broadcast with the Mariners.
That's right. Oh, huge jump for Kadire. Kadire was almost to 2nd before the ball crossed home plate.
6 stolen base for Michael.
He got a little league jump.
Yeah, just take off even before he lifts his leg or about the same time. Montero just said, forget it, I'm not even throwing it.
Kadire with that stolen base, tied for the club lead with Cargo. Two. 1 out. That'll bring up Jordan Pacheco.
Bevan's go-to pitch is the slider. Seen it early in the game here, that last strikeout of Rosario, but when he feels he needs to make a pitch, it's not going to be every time a fastball.
Off the plate, ball one on Pacheco. Left field. Dyer's going to try to move up, and he will. That's just good scouting. Mike Park not going to throw out Dyer from where that ball was caught.
Well, below average arm, but also going away from third base, has to turn his momentum around because he's a right-handed thrower and try to then throw it on the money. And watch Carp, he's trying to get behind the baseball, but he's just not enough arm strength to catch it like he did. It still took 2 hops to get it to the third baseman.
Jeremy Guthrie with 2 outs, and Dyer at third, looking for his first hit of the year. That would be timely. Toward the hole, cut off by Smoke, and that'll end the inning. So Dyer, a leadoff single, stranded at third. 2-1 Seattle. Rockies fans in Idaho and Wyoming, tell us why you're a fan and win the ultimate fan experience, which will include many, many prizes, including travel for 2, hotel, and tickets to watch the Rockies from the Root Sports Suite. For official rules and to enter, visit RockyMountain.rootsports.com. You know what? You can see Miami with those binoculars.
That's where we're heading after the game.
Or Gavin's dad.
Nothing like coming to the game with your buddies.
They're having fun. Michael Saunders, Ichiro, Kyle Seager in the third inning against Jeremy Guthrie. He had a quick second inning, but a lengthy first inning. So he's thrown 43 pitches through 2. Saunders hit a ball to the wall in right center field. Nice running catch by Eric Young Jr.
Just his size and the way he stands at the plate and holds the bat reminds me of Freddie Freeman.
They're similar in stature.
Just the size, how tall they are, and the leverage they create.
3-0. DJ Rayburn's behind home plate today. Makes his home in Tennessee. Laz Diaz at first, Mike Everett at second, Paul Schreiber at third. Line drive, Scudero flashing some leather. Taking a base hit from Saunders. Saunders saying, what do I have to do around here to get a knock?
They went at deep right center field. Now Scudero takes one away from me. On the line at second base, the anticipation from Marco allowed that play to happen.
That pitch misses to Ichiro. Let's look at Chevy's dare to compare. The Chevy Equinox, 32 highway miles per gallon, outperforms its competitors. Chevy, made for Colorado. Ichiro's not chasing as much as he did a year ago, and this ball's to the gap in right center field. And the way he runs, hard to keep him from turning this into a double. So a one-out double for Ichiro. And the average similar to last year, but again, the swing and misses are down. That's the whiff percentage.
And that's probably part of the reason why he failed to get to 200 hits for the first time in his career. The numbers were higher last year. It just shows you how good and consistent, though, Ichiro has been to be able to get 200 hits every season except for one.
This ball pulled to second. Scudero will throw out Seager. Ichiro to third with 2 gone.
Yeah, and it's not like Ichiro was 50 hits away. He had 184 hits last year, so 183, something like that. So it wasn't a huge number.
And again, at the end of the year, Ichiro will be a free agent. And there's some that believe there's only one place he'll play in the States, and that's Seattle.
I don't buy that. I think he wants to get the 3,000 hits.
See, I do as well. And to Seattle, I mean, they've been in transition for a couple of years now. Do they pass on paying Ichiro? He had 184 hits last year. The lowest total he'd had prior to that was 206. 2005. The highest total, of course, the major league record, 262 back in 2004. One and one on Jesus Montero. Uh-oh. That's trot time. Jesus Montero leans on that fastball and makes it 4-1 Seattle. His 6th home run of the year. Again, a lot of similarities between Montero and Willeen Rosario, the 2 young catchers. Both have top shelf power. 2nd home run on this road trip for Montero. He hit one at Yankee Stadium against the organization he came up with.
Yeah, and the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo in a moment will just show you how much extension he got And even with that ball being inside, how he clears his hips to get the hands, and the right back elbow drops down into a slot by your side to get the barrel to the ball. All 4 runs the Mariners have scored today have all come with 2 outs.
Justin Smoke hits one high and deep to right field. This one has got a chance to get out, and it will. Smoke and Montero go back to back. That's the 5th for Smoke.
Five for Justin Smoke. 4 of them have come left-handed. He wasn't sure if he got it enough of it to get it over the auxiliary wall in right field. But hit right on top, right in the first row.
So Mike Karp at the plate. 5-1 Seattle in the 3rd. Jeremy Guthrie's first start at Coors Field did not go well, and right now this one's not going well.
And that ERA of 10.45 coming into the game will go even higher for Guthrie at Coors Field.
This ball's hit well right center field. Kadire going back, Young going back, and right at the wall, Eric Young Jr. makes the catch. 2 home runs in the inning, 3 runs. Mariners up by 4. First time this year the Mariners have gone back-to-back. Seattle 5 and the Rockies 1. And now more pressure on what has been a fragile offense. Rockies went the first 16 innings of this series without scoring. And they got 3 yesterday in the 7th inning. Giambi a double, an RBI single for Pacheco, 2-run home run Rosario. And this bunt came right back to Bevan, so he throws out Eric Young. Marco Scutaro will step up. Ground ball foul.
I'd like to welcome back Tommy Runnels today. Tommy missed the last couple ball games because he was with his wife Chris, who just received a master's degree. So we went back for her graduation. So congratulations, Chris and Tommy Runnels, and welcome back.
No, congratulations to Chris.
Well, yeah,
she did all the work.
Yeah, Tom just showed up.
Scudero strikes out. That's strikeout number 3 for Bevan. And the only guy that's hurt him, Carlos Gonzalez, will step up. He had a 2-out home run in the first against Bevan.
You can get discounts and scoreboard recognition when you bring your group of 25 or more to Coors Field. Special pricing. Call 303 Rockies for more information. I'm not sure he'll throw him a first pitch fastball. If he does, it'll be off the plate.
Take a look at our course light. Blast, cold blast of the ball game, and it's Cargo in the first inning. His 8th of the year. This ball's well hit to right. Did he do it again? Nope, off the top of the wall. Kicked around for a moment by Ichiro. And it's a stand-up double for Cargo. Just a few feet away from his second of the day.
Well, that just shows you the strength of Carlos Gonzalez, because he did not get this. It was more towards the label, but the strength in the hands to hit it over the head of Ichiro about 3/4 of the way up on the scoreboard.
See if the Rockies can get one back here with Tulowitzki at the plate. He walked on 4 pitches his first time up. I don't know if Cargo had seen Bevan at all during spring training. I don't recall. First time he's seen him in the big leagues, and he likes what he sees.
Yeah, I don't think he did face him. I don't remember facing Blake the 2 or 3 games the Rockies faced the Mariners. Felix Hernandez was one of the games.
The Mariners return home after the ball game, someplace they haven't been very frequently. This is their 29th road game. They've played only 15 home games.
Well, I remember one of those road games was over in Tokyo, Japan, because they split that over there, where they were home game or home team first game, visitors the second game.
How about the matchup tomorrow? They return home to take on the Texas Rangers. It's Felix Hernandez, who you were just talking about, the ace of the Mariners, Cy Young Award winner, against Yu Darvish, who's 6-1 in his maiden voyage in the big leagues.
There might be some tight backs on those plane flights.
Yes.
Skip, I can't go today. My back's just really acting up.
Guys begging out, huh? 2-2.
I'm kidding with that, though, because as a competitor, you want to go against the best. And Yu Darvish, what we saw in spring training, he has as good a stuff as anybody. And that will be a pitcher's duel. I'm sure we'll look tomorrow and see the combined 5 or 6 hits between the two guys. Texas still holding a 5-game lead over the Oakland A's.
3-2 on Tulowitzki, 2 outs, 5-1 Seattle. Cargo is at second after doubling. Swung on and missed. So Bevan wins that battle with Tulowitzki. Rockies lead Gonzalez at second. Mariners up 5-1 as we go to the fourth. Pretty, it hasn't been lately. The Mariners up 5-1. They have swung the bats well against Jeremy Guthrie. As we go to the fourth inning, Brendan Ryan, Blake Bevan, and then the top of the order for Seattle. Text Cheyenne for your chance to win Merle Haggard tickets. It's the Cheyenne Frontier Days coming up, the Daddy of Ball. You'll also be entered to win Brad Paisley tickets, championship bull riding tickets, and the VIP grand prize drawing. Visit RockyMountain.rootsports.com for official rules.
Cowboy and Joel are going to do a pregame show from Cheyenne.
Is that right?
Yes.
I didn't know that. That'll be a lot of fun. Cowboy trying to find his way. Does not like to miss Frontier Days. How about Crash at the top of the stadium providing that shot that we had coming back from break? There he is. Crash, turn around, wave to your fan. No, hold on to the railing, actually. Don't turn around. That's what he's shooting out over Union Station. 1-1 on Ryan, and Ryan with a base hit to left. Well, if you think about it, there have been 2 home runs. There have been about 3 near misses. A ball off the center field wall, 2 catches against the wall by Eric Young. Brendan Ryan, who just singled, had a ball caught by Cargo a couple of steps in front of the wall in left center field. So Jeremy Guthrie is getting knocked around a little bit.
Yeah, don't forget Michael Saunders' line drive that almost took the glove off of Scudero last inning. I mean, all of those add up to the ball is not moving very much out of Jeremy Guthrie's hand, at least on the fastball.
Blake Bevan in his second career at bat will try to get the bunt down. Does a good job. So Ryan to second, Dustin Ackley coming up. Time for today's CenturyLink high-speed pitch. Fast speed and a low monthly price. Visit CenturyLink.com. Blake Bevan 93, Jeremy Guthrie 96. Ackley doubled to center and then hit a comebacker. Missed with the heater again. It's 2-0 on Ackley. Three and 0.
thought Eric Wedge might give Ackley the green light.
That catches the outside corner. Tip held, so Guthrie comes back and strikes out Ackley. 2 outs, and that'll bring up Michael Saunders, who has hit the ball as hard as anybody, but has nothing to show for it. AT&T trivia question. Which pitcher has the most victories in Seattle Mariners history?
You know who it is? Don't say it, but
I saw the answer earlier.
Oh, okay.
He's somebody that you would think.
Yes.
And it's 3-0.
Back-to-back hitters for Jeremy Guthrie that he's fallen behind 3-0. Came back to strike out Dustin Ackley.
He's 73 pitches in the 4th inning. If you're Eric Wedge, the way Saunders has swung the bat up by 4 runs, why not give him the green light?
He hit one to the warning track in right center field, lined out to Scutaro his last at bat. You're playing with house money too. You're up 5-1.
Exactly. Three and 2. That internal clock, and you feel like a statue at some point. Michael Saunders calls timeout. Can't hit with tension.
That's why you see guys will move their hands and everything. No matter how much hands you work, though, the fastball was thrown by you.
Nice job by Guthrie working out of that. A couple of strikeouts, got 4 in the game.
The bottom of the fourth, and Todd Helton, number 17, stepping to the plate. This may be one of the last times that Helton and Ichiro face off against each other. It got me thinking, how many guys have 100 or more hits against clubs? Well, look at this. Here are 8 active players with 100-plus hits against 12 or more clubs. You see Helton at 12, Ichiro's at 13, but here's the thing. For Helton, he has 90 hits in his career against Florida. That's where the Rockies go next to take on the Miami Marlins now. He also has 98 against the Cubs and 99 against the Reds. So he should take care of the Reds next week, and the Cubs certainly. That'll put him at 14. Can he get to 15? 100 hits against 15 clubs? Drew, Jeff, that's impressive.
I hope he gets it. You want to know why?
Tell me.
Because if he does, he's going to have an enormous series in Miami this week.
Well, right. He's got, well, actually on the year, he'd have to hit about 400 against the Marlins in order to get there. You figure. Maybe even
well, actually,
more,
you know what? I was doing it based on 3 games, but there's 3 back here. So you're right, 6 games. So if he has, 5 good ball games,
game. Well,
yeah, assuming he doesn't play every ball game.
Yeah, if anybody can do it, he can.
Sure. 1 and 2 on Helton. Line to right his first time up. Rockies down 5-1. They've been out hit 6-3.
Speaking of the Marlins, I was just reading they sent Gabby Sanchez down, the first baseman. 191, just 1 home run and 11 RBIs.
You never know. That's how tough this game is. Again, the Rockies today sent Rex Brothers down. Adam Ottavino was called back up. So here's the move again. Rex Brothers sent out to combination of things. Work on mechanics, yes, but also the mental side of things. Adam Ottavino has pitched well in a couple of outings for the Rockies before he was sent out recently, and it was not because of poor performance. It was just Rockies were getting a couple starting pitchers back. Had to make a move.
And he had options, and sometimes that's works for you and works against you. This time it worked against Ottavino. 0 runs in 2 2/3 innings, but Rex Brothers just he needed the break to go down there and correct things.
Fly ball pretty deep left center field. Carp with company coming. Michael Saunders ran all the way from center field. That'll bring up Kadire. Michael base hit up the middle his first time up. AT&T trivia question: which pitcher has the most wins in Mariners history? He's in the house. Jamie Moyer with 145, 15 more than the big unit. If things go as planned, that record one day will be held by Felix Hernandez, King Felix.
He stays in a Mariners uniform long enough.
Freddie Garcia, 4th on that list, now with the Yankees. And this ball is pulled to left by Kadire, and it's going to hit the base of the wall. And Kadire has a double to go with his earlier single. That's his 12th double of the year.
He leads the Rockies in double, the only player in double figures for the Rockies in doubles. This time a hanging slider. And when you get the monkey off your back, and he did in that first at bat where he got the single up the middle to snap the 0 for 13 on the homestand, it just makes you feel better. I'm back. You get that knock, you get the hanging slider, you hit that for a double. You just breathe easier.
Outside, 2-0 on Rosario. Bevan was pushed back in his last start a couple of days. Miguel Cabrera, when he was pitching against Detroit a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, hit a wicked line drive off his elbow.
Yeah, for a conventional 1-5-4-3 double play.
Yeah, you see those every day. That also gives you an idea how hard the ball was hit.
Yeah, and talking to some Mariners people, it said it just sounded like a gunshot when Cabrera hit it off his elbow, ricochets to Kyle Seager, and they turned the double play to end the inning. But Blake walked off the mound, didn't rub it at all. He didn't want to show him that it hurt until he got down into the tunnel.
Big sweeping slider, and it's 2-2.
Well, it goes back to his football mentality days. I'm not going to show you that tackle hurt or that line drive off my elbow.
You got to figure he's going to see a slider again here.
It's the learning process for Willeen. 1 for 15 in this year with runners in scoring position. Knowing what they're trying to accomplish when you're hitting a runner out at second or third.
And it's a slider, and he fishes for it. 5 strikeouts for Blake Bevan. Now Pacheco.
And with that 5th strikeout, that sets a season high for Bevan.
Yeah, he's a contact guy. Yeah, they look in the dugout. They are going to pitch to Pacheco. First base is open, but they're up 4 runs. Jordan hit a fly ball to left field his first time. Pacheco has hit 5 of his last 6. He's got an RBI in 4 out of 5.
Well, that's what he did last year when he came up in September. RBIs, 2 out RBIs.
And Pacheco drives it to deep left field, and Karp is going to have to field this one off the wall, and it's going to be a long single as Karp fires it back in. But it is 5-2 as Jordan Pacheco continues to get timely knocks. This was a bullet.
Yeah, and they wanted to go away from him, and it was about a 6 or 7 inch reach back, and Jordan just put the head down and really didn't completely rotate on the front foot to clear it out of there, but still hit it so hard it held him to a single. That 6-game hitting streak coincides with getting starts day after day after day.
Guthrie lines out to Justin Smoke. So the Rockies get a run back. A double by Kadire, a long single by Pacheco. Sports is brought to you by Ford Fusion. Quality you want, economy you deserve. Ford Fusion, go further. By AT, the nation's largest 4G network. AT, rethink possible. And by your Colorado Hyundai dealers and America's most fuel-efficient car company, Hyundai. Well, paraglide off the
no, thank you.
Flat irons near Golden. That M for Colorado School of Mines, naturally. Mariners 5, Rockies 2. Drew Goodman, along with Jeff Hewson and Mark Stout on a Sunday afternoon at Coors Field. Ichiro is going to lead it off for Seattle. Then Kyle Seager and Jesus Montero. 3, 4, and 5 for Eric Wedge's club.
Every time before Ichiro gets in the box, he bends down and does that stretching routine that you talked about yesterday, Drew, where it's just part of what he does each and every at bat and every day. Doesn't deviate from it.
He is extremely strong for a guy that's that lean. Time now for today's fun fact, brought to you by All Copy Products. You take Ichiro and Hideki Matsui. 3,715 hits. The rest of the 54 players born in Japan who have appeared in the big leagues have 3,626 hits. Did Matsui just sign with somebody?
Yeah, I was just trying to think. Was it Tampa Bay?
Dougie's going to research that for us. He just signed with somebody.
Slow computer today, Doug. Durham Bulls, AAA for Tampa Bay.
Kyle Seager with a 1-strike count.
Well, the Rockies are going to be hitting the road, but if you hit the road, you can subscribe to MLB.tv to see every Rockies out-of-market game online and on your favorite devices in HD quality when you're not at home.
One, two.
Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo slows it down for us to see the double whammy that Willeen Rosario got. First off the forearm, then the mask. Telling the guys that the forearm hurts and the head hurts.
Chatting with Ramon Hernandez this morning in the clubhouse, and said you got some injuries to talk about, got some marks, and he proceeded to roll up an arm and pull up socks on the pant leg, and he had, when he pulled down the shirt a little bit, he had one up just beneath the collarbone. This is in the air to shallow center. EY's coming on.
Well, that's part of the reason why Willeen has had a couple back-to-back games, even with the night game on Friday, turnaround day game Saturday. It helps when you're 22, 23 years old. You can go back there, but to give Ramon Hernandez a battery recharge.
Well, I think it's great for Willeen. It gives him an opportunity to get some rhythm behind the plate and stack up some at-bats. Jesus Montero walking a 2-run home run. Here's Montero going deep in the third inning with Ichiro aboard.
I'm sure it was tough for the Yankees to part with this young man.
Well, now their return on him, Michael Pineda, he's not going to, they won't know what they're getting until 2013. He's out for the year. This ball hit the center field, pretty well hit. Junior makes the catch. He ties a major league record. 3 putouts in an inning. Cam. Marco Scutero on defense. Michael Saunders thinks he has a base hit. And that was hit with such great force, it almost took Scutero in a right field. Nice catch by Marco. It's brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Rockies down by 3 as they hit the bottom of the 5th inning. Top of the order, Eric Young Jr., Marco Scutero, Carlos Gonzalez. And see now Hernandez and Rosario, they're comparing bruises. Well, I got this welt right here, and then when that sinker came, it bent my pinky back in the glove.
Well, you said you wanted to be a catcher, though.
And Johnny Herrera's looking on saying, boy, I'm glad Pacheco's here so I don't ever have to go back there in an emergency. Back up the middle. That's a good start. Eric Young Jr. And that'll bring up Scutero.
Leading off an inning this year for Eric Young Jr., hitting over 400. On base percentage over 400. He starts it the right way in the 5th.
Hey, you'll never guess who went deep today for Washington.
You know what? I do know because I just read that a moment ago. Strasburg.
Steven Strasburg. 9-3, by the way. Washington beating Baltimore, your old club.
We'll be talking about that home run for days.
What can he do?
Washington has a good ball club now.
Washington has a really good club. They're 23-17. How about Baltimore? They're the surprise of baseball. They're 27-14.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought Baltimore would be up there. 2-game lead over Tampa Bay in the East. Boston sitting in last place. 7.5 back.
You know, another guy having a bounce back year, and you mentioned him. I think you mentioned him earlier, Adam Dunn.
Yeah, he is.
Hit another one today, is 14.
Yeah, and that's not surprising because that's what he does. His year last year was abysmal.
Tough.
Lance Berkman's hurt again.
Yeah, I saw that Mark Ellis got hurt last night for the Dodgers. He's on the DL. There goes EY, huge jump, and no throw. EY is so fast that when he slid, he almost slid over the base. Junior with his 5th stolen base, he's yet to be caught.
Well, unlike Michael Kadire, who guessed right, this is just pure speed from Eric Young Jr. Here's a slide. Slow down. Throw the anchor down. Catch the base. Jesus Montero 2 for 13 attempting to throw out base runners. That one wasn't his fault. That's just the speed from Eric.
Yeah, he had no shot on either bag the Rockies have taken today. Scudero with Cargo on deck. Good read by Eric Young. Can't cross over on that. It was hit just hard enough. So Ryan throws out Scudero, and here comes Cargo. Well, it's been a good day to play for Carlos Gonzalez. First pitch he saw from Bevan today, he deposited into the fountains in center field. And then his next at bat, he almost hit it out to right off the top of the scoreboard for a double. I guess when Cargo was with Oakland, he really struggled against Seattle pitching. 7 for 52 coming into the ball game today.
Throw most of those at bats away because that's when he was young and still learning his swing and learning how to play every day and utilizing your talents at the big league level. He's figured it out now with the 2nd highest average with runners in scoring position.
Jonathan Lucroy hit a home run today for Milwaukee. That's a money statistic right there. On the outside corner, 1-1.
That's why guys like Joey Votto and Todd Helton are also on that list.
Cash this run in, and it becomes a 5-3 ball game in the 5th. One, 2-1. That's the thing, you know, with guys that hit the ball over the wall like Gonzalez. He's also a very accomplished hitter. You say, all right, I want to stay away from his power. I want to stay away from his power. But if you look at the chart on the 8 home runs he's hit this year, I think 7 of them, the ball was away.
Yeah, and that's why it really plays into your hand because of the extension that he gets.
3-1. And it may be all 8. In terms of pitches away. In fact, the 2 balls he hit out in Pittsburgh weren't even strikes.
No, and they were opposite to left center field, and a tough place to hit it out in Pittsburgh because it is so deep there.
And he's going to gear up for one location here, 3-1. And it's going to get out of play. Todd Helton, I know, has that philosophy, and he's worn out this league and in any other league he'd be placed in over the last 15 years, taking pitches away and driving them to left field.
That makes you a complete hitter. Because if you were thinking only one spot and one location and one zone, then you can chart your defenses to that area. But when you hit it all over the place, they don't know where to play you.
And he got him on a slider, 2 outs.
A harder slider from Bevan. We saw the tumbler, the roller earlier, but this one from the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo shows you the depth of the ball in the late movement.
Tulowitzki a walk and a strikeout. Troy just 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position in May. And he gets hit, so that'll put 2 on for Helton.
81-mile-an-hour slider that came out of the side of the hand of Bevan. Just turn and wear that one on the hip.
You're going to get hit. That's not a bad place to get plunked.
The hip or the thigh, the leg, it beats the hand or the elbow.
Outside on Todd.
That was the 6th hit by pitch of the season for Bevan. That's the most in the big leagues.
Rockies had optional batting practice out on the field today, and understand that guys almost always, I don't know if I've ever, can't remember the last time I saw Todd check swing. He just doesn't do that.
It just shows you where he's at. He's not really picking up the baseball like we're accustomed to seeing.
When was the last time you saw him do that? I can't recall.
No, I've seen him take swings where he's just trying to foul the ball off that way. You see that all the time.
Some different looking swings, but not a check swing that tentative. Anyhow, optional batting practice. Guys hit inside all the time, even when they hit out on the field. But optional batting practice was well attended, not surprisingly.
I think it was more of an optional mandatory.
Yeah, I wouldn't want it. With the way things are going, you don't want to be the guy who didn't hit.
Yeah, when you have 7 hits in these 2 games against the Mariners, when they've rolled out 22 hits coming into the game, yeah, it's optional, but you better be there. And everybody was.
2-2. And Bevan has now struck out 7 in the ballgame. Rockies lead 2 on. They've left on 6 in 5 innings.
Field. I'm joined by Adam Kramers, and Adam is part of bikingforbaseball.org, and this is a Denver-based organization.
It is, yeah. We actually started the organization here in Denver and are partnered with the Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Colorado, and we started this as the idea of kind of combining our loves for passions. We actually are biking across the country to all 30 Major League Baseball stadiums supporting youth mentoring programs along the way.
So they started in Seattle on the 13th of April. What stadium number is this for you?
This is Stadium 8.
Stadium 8. They just came from Phoenix. You're heading down to Arlington to go see the Rangers, and you're helping mentoring programs for the youth.
Exactly. So in every city that we stop in, we attend a baseball game with the youth mentoring program. So for today, we're Big Brothers and Big Sisters. And then we also play a baseball clinic with the youth as well, kind of teaching them a little bit about baseball, just kind of getting them into it and having fun and kind of energizing already the current relationships going on.
So what's the total amount of miles? I know they end up in Boston at September the 21st at the end of the year.
Yeah, we are going to be doing just under 12,000 miles by the end of the year. So far, we are just a shade under 3,000 done. So we are.
And this leg was through the Rocky Mountains is one of the longer ones, right?
It is. Yeah, this one was actually 850 from Phoenix, and it was what you expected. It was the Rockies, so it was awesome. It was awesome. I mean, it's so pretty to be riding up 285 and through Buena Vista, and Colorado's awesome.
Well, Drew and Jeff, people can go to bikingforbaseball.org. They help Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Boys and Girls Clubs, Fruit Sports big with that, and it's a pretty cool thing that's happening this year.
Great cause, and congratulations to that group. So they got 22 more stadiums to go.
Wow. I was thinking they still had another 9,000 miles to ride is the way I was looking at it.
Well, see, you just look at it in stadiums, not think about all those miles. Smoke grounds to second. Scudero will throw him out. 1 out. Mike Karp coming up after watching the Rockies game today. Stick around for Rockies Weekly with Jim Tracy. You'll hear from former Rocky terrific player Walt Weiss about his coaching career at Regis High School. You'll learn a little bit more about Christian Friedrich, and don't forget to look for the keyword during the show to win a pair of tickets from Root Sports. Guthrie quietly has retired 7 in a row. Gave up 2 in the first, 3 in the third.
He wiggled out of that 4th inning with the leadoff single by Brendan Ryan. Sean Kelly is getting loose under the watchful eye of the bullpen coach, Jamie Navarro.
One and 2 on Mike Karp. 2 and 2. Karp lifts one high in the air to deep right field. This one is going to leave the yard. Second deck for Karp. He flirted with a home run his last time up. It's his second home run of the series, and he makes it 6-2.
There's no doubt when he hit this ball what he did with that 75-mile-an-hour curveball. That was belt high, and no doubt 3 or 4 rows deep, the second deck.
Brendan Ryan 1 for 2. He takes a strike. It's our Toyota Talk inning. Some other happenings around baseball today. Max Scherzer of Detroit punched out 15.
Still playing the Pirates. Pirates are saying, wait, you got Scherzer struck out 15. Verlander had a no-hitter with 8 1/3.
Yeah, that's good pitching right there. Here's the 1-1, and this is popped up to Tulowitzki. 2 outs. And Bevin will come up. That injury to Mark Ellis, I didn't see the video yet of it, but it was a pretty scary deal where his leg got caught on a slide. Somebody sliding into him. He's covering second. Line to drive to right. He had to have emergency surgery to alleviate pressure on his left leg. He's going to be in the hospital about 4 or 5 days. And amazingly, he's only going to be out about 6 weeks. We wish Mark well. Former Rocky, 6'2", Seattle. Sports is brought to you by College Invest. Are you saving for college or just talking about it? By your neighborhood Toyota stores. Toyota, moving forward. By Comcast, advertise your business locally on the networks people watch. We can help grow your business. Go to ComcastSpotlight.com for details. And by Ram Trucks, guts, glory, Ram. Oh, remember, it's wildlife week at Coors Field. We had the squirrel, we had the bees. Now the ducks. Michael Kadire lead it off here in the 6th inning. Willeen Rosario, Jordan Pacheco. Rockies have had at least one hit in every inning against Blake Bevan, but he's gotten the big outs. Eric Young Jr. a leadoff single last inning. He stole second. Scudero grounded out. Cargo struck out on a 3-2 pitch. Tulowitzki was hit on a slider, and then Helton struck out to end that threat. Rocky scored in the first on a home run by Gonzalez. Scored in the 4th when Kadire doubled with 1 out and was eventually brought around by Pacheco on a base hit.
That start you mentioned against Detroit, where he was hitting the elbow with the line drive, his first 20 starts, Blake Bevan had gone at least 5 innings in every one of his major league starts.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Former 17th overall pick in the 07 draft. Kelly's the right-hander, and Charlie Furbush, the left-hander.
Bush, formerly of the Tigers.
2-2. Bevan, when he was in high school, I don't care what level it is, he had a perfect game in high school, and he struck out 18 to 21 hitters.
Well, in Irving, Texas, too.
A big school, too. Yep.
High school, probably 20, 25 minutes away from where the Rangers play in Arlington.
They got him up for 15 starts last year. He went 5 and 6. Line drive, right field, fair ball. Another double for Kadire. That's his 13th of the year. And the best thing we can say about this ball game so far is that Michael Kadire has emerged from a little slump. He was 0 for 13 on the homestand. He's hit 3 rockets today.
And what I like too is where these baseballs are going. His first base hit was a sing-eye ground ball up the middle. He pulled the hanging slider to left field. This time he takes a fastball away from him and hits it to right field. When you're doing that, that's when you know you're back on track, and Michael Kadire is feeling relieved.
Well, that's going to be the end of the road for Bevan. Eric Wedge has taken the baseball, and they'll go to Sean Kelly. 1 on and nobody out. Yeah, a College Invest savings account can be a great gift idea for your grandchild, and your contributions are deductible on your Colorado State income taxes. Start a savings plan today for your grandkid. It's the stuff heroes are made of. Check it out at collegeinvest.org. What's that, a spider crawling up his face? No, it's a scorpion, isn't it? Nervous right now, gnawing away on the sunglasses. The Rockies trying to rally. Willeen Rosario against Sean Kelly. Michael Kadire, a leadoff double.
The Rockies saw Sean Kelly last night for an inning. 1 strikeout, just 15 pitches, 7th appearance on the season. And for Kelly, it's a fastball slider changeup mix.
And a line drive right at the second baseman, Ackley. 1 out.
Smart base running from Michael Kadire. Many times you'll see a ball hit to the right side, and the base runner at second base will take it 2 or 3 extra steps, and if he would have been doubled off. But he read the baseball, knew that you're down by 4. Runs are a premium. Don't get doubled off and wipe out this inning.
Jordan Pacheco 1 for 2. An RBI single, and I put that in quotations because he hit a ball off the left field wall. He hit it so hard and it was fired back so quickly by Mike Karp that Jordan was held to a single. He's trying to drive in Kadire again here in the 6th. Tyler Colvin has come out to hit for Jeremy Guthrie.
And Matt Reynolds still throwing in the Rockies bullpen.
Rockies have lost 6 of their last 7 games at home. Just 9 and 13 at Coors Field. That's a strike as well. It's 0-2. Kelly on 3 pitches strikes out Pacheco. So here comes Colvin.
And he got Jordan with the slider. Tyler Colvin 4 for 9 as a pinch hitter, including 1 home run.
And he touches the outside corner, a strike.
The ability for a relief pitcher to come in to a ball game and throw a first pitch breaking pitch for a strike, it just sets the hitter up, because a pinch hitter's thinking first pitch fastball. That's what I'm looking for. And if you can throw a slider, you're in the ditch 0-1. It makes it that much more difficult.
And he puts it in the same spot. It's 0-2.
Why not go out there again? If they're going to call it out there both times, not on the 4 strike zone, if you're Montero, go there again. They're going to go inside. I just don't understand that, though. It goes back to the Atlanta Braves pitching of the 90s with Maddox, Glavine, and Smoltz. If they're going to call it a strike off the zone, I'm going to keep going out there until he no longer calls it a strike.
And ultimately they may. He may have been showing him inside, hoping he doesn't.
Yeah, but
gets it far enough in where he's not going to get hurt, and then they go back out there.
Why even take a chance of making a mistake? Because Colvin took a quality pass at it.
Yep, point well taken. Montero goes out there, and they get him on a slider outside. Well, a leadoff double by Kadire. Kelly comes in. He gets Rosario, Pacheco, and Colvin. Third inning, Ichiro with a 1-out double, and then a 2-run home run off the bat of Jesus Montero. And right behind him, Justin Smoke would hit 1 out. For Smoke, his 5th of the year. Pretty good baseball name, Justin Smoke. Rockies got on the board when Cargo hit a first inning home run. They get their second run. Kadire scoring on that Pacheco line drive off the wall. And then it was long ball again, this time Mike Karp taking Jeremy Guthrie deep. Guthrie's gone after 6 innings, 6 runs, all of them earned on 7 hits. Walked 2, struck out 4. Matt Reynolds is now in. Top of the order, it's Ackley, Saunders, and Ichiro. Ackley's 1 for 3, he had a double and scored back in the first inning.
17th game this season for Matt Reynolds. Did not pitch yesterday, but threw in Friday night's ball game. Inning and 2/3, 26 pitches. Oh, what a catch.
Bare hand, I missed it.
No,
Barehanded?
he brought his glove, reached over the railing on the upper deck.
Careful.
I know.
Ooh, this ball's hit a long
Foul.
way foul. Wow, that was hit a really long way.
It's foul though.
Doesn't count. Out, cannot make the catch. You know what, he got caught in between. He came hard as if I'm going to try to catch this ball in the air, and then he kind of paused for like a nanosecond and said, wait, maybe I still can catch it in the air.
Yeah, and that's why with the indecision, he comes hard, but watch him slow down right there and then dive. If he continues to come and get that baseball, he catches it at his waist.
And that's, again, he's a lot better, but some of the inexperience playing out there. So base hit, Saunders up. Two-strike count on Saunders with Ichiro on deck. Mariners, after losing 12 of 13 coming to town, have won back-to-back here. And they've outscored the Rockies 20-5 in the series.
And out hit them 30-14.
And the Rockies are going to go another day without their starter getting a victory. Their starting rotation has 7 wins this year, which is the lowest total in baseball. 1-2. Looking to save energy and money. Find out how the little changes add up at togetherwesave.com. Your local Touchstone Energy Cooperative, delivering reliable power, energy saving tools, and more.
Dustin Ackley aware at first base. Let him just take the easy read and go first movement. Two throwovers though for me. If I'm base running, I would think that he's not going to throw over and take off. That's exactly what he did. It goes back to my theory that pitchers don't like to throw over there more than twice.
Here's the 1-2 on the ground to third. Pacheco trying to start a double play. And Scooter will eat the baseball after getting the force out. So one gone, and that'll bring up Ichiro.
Well, the ball was slapped to third. Pacheco backhands it, excuse me, and then misses the throw to second, just high into the left. It's the worst place that a second baseman can have that feed. If you're going to miss, I always tell third baseman, if you're going to miss to the backside of the bag for me, so I still have a chance to turn it.
Looks like there's going to be a trade between the Padres and the Chicago White Sox. Orlando Hudson was released from his deal a couple days ago. Now they've worked out a trade, evidently. White Sox have a need at third base. Had some injuries, so Orlando Hudson wasn't playing every day for the Padres.
Well, the Padres maybe get rid of some of his salary too.
Yeah, he signed a 2-year, $11.5 million deal prior to the start of last year. See if they can turn this one. There's one, and the rarest of rare, Ichiro bounces into a double play. You don't see that every day. 4-6-3. Amazingly, it's the 6th time it's happened this year, I've just been told. Advertise your business locally on the network's People Watch. Go to ComcastSpotlight.com for details. 6-2 Seattle, 2 in the first. They hit back-to-back home runs. Montero and Smoke in the third. They got a Mike Carp home run in the 6th inning. The Rockies have a home run from Carlos Gonzalez. Kadyr's had a big day, a couple doubles and also a single. Rockies trailing by 4, 9 outs to work with offensively. And it'll be the top of the Rockies order. Eric Young Jr., Marco Scutaro, and then Cargo. And Sean Kelly remains out there. Pitchers of record, Blake Bevan. He goes 5+. He gave up 2 runs, 7 hits, walked 1, struck out 7. Jeremy Guthrie gave up all 6 runs in 6 innings, 7 hits, couple walks, 4 strikeouts. Another happening around baseball, not happening, just an ongoing story. David Wright, 2 more hits today. He's hit .412. It's almost 2 months into the season.
Yeah, there was that question after last year. Was his back going to be okay? Is it what was happening there? But he's answered that bell.
Well, Adam Ottavino, who was up a couple weeks ago, is in the pen. Again, Rex Brothers was sent to Colorado Springs today. We have Alex Liddy, a guy that started one of the ball games this weekend for Seattle, a native of San Remo in Italy. And on the Italian Riviera, he was a member of the '09 WBC Italian team. Liddy was. Well, so was Adam Ottavino, who's from New York City.
Wasn't Jason Grilli on that team as well?
We just saw Jason, and yes, he was. Jason Grilli.
Condolences to the Grilli family. His wife's grandfather passed away, so he's going to be on the bereavement list, I read, for the next 2 or 3 days.
In the air, left center field. Saunders makes the catch.
That's three pretty good names.
Well, Chris Denorfia, Nick Punto, also on that team. Mark DeFelice, Lenny DiNardo. So the Italian team semi-stacked, or at least stacked for what you thought maybe they would have going in. Scutaro with 1 out. Ball 1 on Marco. Marco lined to short against Sean Kelly yesterday. And this time he lines it over the head of Brendan Ryan. First hit of the afternoon for Scutaro. And the Rockies continue to get their hits. They've had at least 1 hit in every inning. Wells Fargo customers, get your 2-for-1 Rockies tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. And Eric Wedge is going to go get a left-hander to face Cargo.
He signaled it as soon as he was 2 steps out of the dugout. Neat part of the order coming up. I'm not letting Carlos Gonzalez face Kelly, the right-hander.
Six Seventh inning, Scudero just singled against Sean Kelly. Cargo coming up, so Charlie Furbush is in there, and he's been good against lefties naturally. That's why he is in the big leagues. 4 for 26 lefties. He'll hit just 154 against Furbush.
Yeah, right-handers haven't been much better at 222.
Reminder coming up in the post-game show, the Toyota post-game show. You can continue with your comments, thoughts, text Toyota, followed by a space, and then those comments to 720-720 on Toyota Talk. Furbush, originally a 4th-round pick of the Tigers in 07. 17 games with Detroit last year, and then came over in a deadline deal in July. There's that big sweeper, and it's 0-2 on Cargo. Our producer Mike Fox is from Portland, Maine, and that's where Furbush is from. He's from South Portland, Maine. Not too many kids out of Maine make the big leagues.
Wasn't Billy Swift from? Didn't he go to Maine?
Yeah, Mark Sweeney went to the University of Maine also. Mark's from Massachusetts. Here's the 0-2, and Furbush on 3 pitches gets Cargo.
Let's see if Eric Wedge lets Furbush pitch to Troy Tulowitzki with Todd Helton on deck, another left-hander, rather than bringing in Will Helmson.
Again, it's not my chips, but based on the numbers and knowing that Helton's on deck, if you were not to get Tulowitzki and the fact that you're up by 4 runs.
That's the key for me. 4 runs. If it's a run, probably not.
And these are times where managers down the road can save appearances. I think we always look just at appearances, and keep in mind every time a guy gets up in the bullpen and heats up, he may not come in the ball game, but that's wear and tear on the arm. Now then you put him in to the game with the adrenaline rush. Even if they face a hitter or two, it's still significant.
Well, and that's why you'll hear managers say, well, I got him up twice, I have to get him in the 3rd time, or he's not going into the game for that reason.
Or he may be down the next day.
Right. And sometimes it's only, I got him up 1 time, I need to bring him in because of his arm. He doesn't have the ability to bounce back as quickly as other guys do.
2-1 on Tulowitzki, a walk, a strikeout, and he was hit by a pitch. Hits are even in this game. The runs, unfortunately, are not. Light hitting Seattle has hit 3 home runs today.
4 out of their 6 RBIs have come off the home run.
Two and 2. Yesterday, they had a season-high 10 runs. Two. Scudero will move up on the wild pitch.
Smart play from Marco, and it makes the throw longer now for the infielders. You can't go the short route. Mike Shaw, Subaru, Supermo, Montero slid over to his left, but then the reverse spin on the baseball kicked it back to his right.
Full count on Tulowitzki. On the ground to third. Seager across the diamond, and Scudero left at second. So we move to the 8th inning with the Mariners in front 6-2. Cell Energy high efficiency inning. Learn about energy efficiency and how to save money in your home by visiting responsiblebynature.com. Second inning, deep fly ball off the bat of Brendan Ryan, tracked down by Cargo. Guthrie would strike out Bevan, and he would get Ackley as well. And back live here in a moment, Matt Reynolds gets Kyle Seager on a ground ball to Marco Scudero. Got a good pitch to hit, a slider that was up, but he got on top of it. And with Jesus Montero coming up, Matt Reynolds will depart. And so will we for a couple of moments. Ottavino coming in.
Hello.
Broad smiles, they're having a blast Sunday at the ballpark. Wish the Rockies would have a few more runs. That's their only complaint. Want the latest updates from Root Sports? Text alerts to 720-720 and receive text message updates from Root Sports all season long. Those two kids on their cell phones are getting those updates on a regular basis. Adam Ottavino against Jesus Montero. And a slider swung on and missed. Ottavino is up for a couple of ball games recently and pitched well.
Well, that's why he got the call back again. He had a tough time sending him out the first time, just got caught in a numbers game. They like his power arm and power slider. Fastball 93, 94 miles an hour. Hard slider.
There's 94.
Yep, the first 20,000 on June 1st will receive a Michael Kadire t-shirt courtesy of us here at Root Sports. Get your tickets now.
And Ottavino strikes out Montero. That'll bring up Justin Smoke, who singled in a run in the first, hit a home run behind Montero's two-run shot in the third, and also grounded to second.
This is a new role for Ottavino, and I mean as a reliever, because in the minor leagues, out of the 127 games he appeared in, 126 of them were as a starter.
Whatever gets you and keeps you in the big
there.
leagues.
Well, and maybe this fits his makeup better. They realized that he didn't have that third or fourth pitch to go 3 or 4 times through a lineup. Get him out there for an inning or two, let him throw the power stuff, and then sit him down, and then come back tomorrow and do the same thing.
Two and two on Smoke. Rockies in the bottom of the 8th inning will have Helt, Kadire, and Rosario. And a ground ball to second. Nice job by Ottavino. That's all for the Mariners in the 8th. They have the lead, however, 6-2. 2-0 for the Mariners. The Rockies 2-8-1. Todd Helton will face Charlie Furbush. Furbush got the final 2 outs of the 7th inning. Casper Wells back into the ball game defensively. He started last night. He had a defensive role on Friday night. So Carp out, Casper Wells in. Todd's 0 for 3. After a really strong spring training, Todd mired in a difficult slump. His average at 223. Obviously, he had some good moments in April.
And even lower here in the month of May.
Slider count 0-2. You got him with the fastball. So Helton gone on strikes for the 2nd time today. And Eric Wedge will walk to the mound with a string of right-handed bats coming up.
And it just threw the 92-mile-an-hour fastball past Todd. You got Carlos Gonzalez to strike out with the big sweeping slider. Went fastball to Todd.
Wilhelmsen will be aboard when we come back. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. By StubHub. Hey, fans, want to be here in person the next time your Rockies take the field? Just head to StubHub and choose your seats today. And by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies tickets by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank. Member FDIC. So Tom Wilhelmsen, it was a fascinating story, is in the ball game. The reason I say he's fascinating, he's 28. He was a minor league free agent. He was originally drafted by Milwaukee, but that's not the story. He was suspended for a year and then took 4 years off and then returned to independent ball in his hometown of Tucson. Played for the Toros, who for a long time were playing out of High Corbett Field. And here he is in the big leagues.
Yeah, you don't hear of guys taking 4 years off and still being able to have the arm to come back.
And strike 3 on Michael Kadire. The Rockies in the game have struck out 12 times.
And the Super Suites Conference Center is available for game day or non-game day meetings for groups of 25 to 200. Call 303 Rockies for your Super Suite Conference Center deal.
Willeen Rosario in the air to center field. Michael Saunders drifts over, and Wilhelmsen very quickly gets the final 2 outs in the 8th inning. Seattle 6, Rockies 2, on to the 9th. Oh, you know what? He borrowed Jose Mesa's glove. Remember Jose, whatever team he was on?
Colored glove.
Okay.
Is that the Mickey Mouse glove?
Oh, nothing better than the Mickey glove. All right, let's check in with Joel Klatt. Joel?
I wish I had one of those red gloves right now. That looked pretty cool. Hey, on the Toyota postgame show, sweepless by Seattle. That's right, the Rockies trying to avoid the sweep today on a Sunday afternoon, the finale of this 3-game set. Plus, Mayday, guys. 8 for 21 last year. That was their record in the month of May. Now they're 4-13. That's not good. They need a win. Avoid that 4-14 mark in the month of May. Plus, we're going to hear from Jim Tracy. That's coming up on the Toyota postgame show, guys.
All right, Joel, we appreciate it. Thank you. Mike Karp was replaced by Casper Wells. So Casper Wells will lead off here in the 9th inning. Brendan Ryan will follow. Adam Ottavino still out there.
Casper, a couple hits last night, 2 RBIs. Mesa didn't he have a purple glove when he was here?
Jose Mesa did have a purple glove when he was here.
I remember with Seattle he had a red glove.
And that worked in Philadelphia. Did you say Seattle?
No, Cleveland. I mean Cleveland.
Well, that worked when he was in Philly too.
Yeah. All over the place.
If he wore the red glove in Seattle, his teammates would say, "Dude, are you colorblind?"
The long toss he used to throw.
You needed a big field to long toss with him. He'd throw it out of the ballpark. He'd throw it from the foul line into the bullpen. From the left field foul line, he could throw it to the bullpen. 3 balls and a strike on Wells. Eric Young coming, and Scudero calling for it, and Marco makes a catch.
Levon Hernandez might be the only guy that still uses that colored glove.
Yeah, Levon does it. We know that Jeremy Guthrie has a green glove that he uses on Earth Day and St. Patty's Day if he gets the call during spring training. It worked for St. Patty's Day this year. Ironically, he was on the mound for Earth Day, and he was bummed out because he forgot the glove. It was a road game, and it was in Denver.
Thought it was the next week.
Ryan lines out to right. 2 outs. Alex Liddy's going to be the pinch hitter here for Wilhelmsen. Liddy got a start yesterday and was hitless. He was 0 for 5. Today's the quarter post in the season, basically. It's game number 40. 40 out of 162. And the Rockies obviously do not like where they are one iota. 9 games beneath 500. Unless they put on quite a rally in the bottom of the 9th, they will depart to Miami after 40 games, 10 south of 500.
The way the Dodgers are playing, came into the game 11.5 back.
Here's the 1-2 outside, 2-2. Jamie Moyer, Mark Burley, 2 crafty lefties tomorrow in Miami.
Burley just 3-4, but an ERA at 3.17.
And earlier today, the Marlins won in Cleveland 5-3. They are now 3 games above 500, 22 and 19.
The Marlins are going to be, I already mentioned Gabby Sanchez has been sent down. Emilio Bonifacio, who's leading the league in stolen bases with 20. He's going to be on the DL with the jam thumb. And I also saw that Omar Infante is going to miss a couple ball games. He's on the bereavement list.
Liddy with a base hit to left. And he's going to end up with a double. Well, now he's going for 3. Cargo trying to throw him out. And Liddy has a triple. That's I believe the 4th triple of the series for Seattle.
Yeah, and the first one for Liddy this year. Carlos races over to try to cut it off, and then when it gets by him, it just doesn't have the chance to slow down and stop in time, and the ball also kicks back away from him even further. And Liddy with the ball in front doesn't look at the third base coach. He knows he's making his own mind up, and first slide, and his first of his career. Not just the first this year, first of his career.
Josh Outman will be called upon to get Dustin Ackley with 2 outs and a runner at third. 6-2 Seattle.
Two in favor of Seattle. Josh Outman has been called upon to record the final out of this inning, and Dustin Ackley left on left. This year, left-handers off of Josh Outman hitting 167. And he's going to have an increased role now the Rex brothers has been sent down, with just 2 left-handers out in the pen with Matt Reynolds, who is already in, Josh is going to have to be at times a specialist, left-handed specialist, but also might have to eat up a couple innings.
That pitch misses, 1-1. Hackley's been impressive in this series. One of the guys that Eric Wedge is building around. Center field, Eric Young. So we move on to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Rockies need a little Lodo magic, down 6-2. Off, and then we'll see after that. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Colorado Rockies. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Colorado Rockies. Brandon League, the closer for Seattle, is on board. He's got 8 saves. He's kicked some back also.
Well, he kicked the one back the other day against the Cleveland Indians, and that's been part of his problem this year with the 8 for 11 in save opportunities.
This is not a save opportunity, up by 4 runs. Dexter Fowler's come out in the on-deck circle. It is 8-9-1 in the Rockies batting order. Pacheco today, an RBI single back in the 4th inning. Well, that's a nasty slider. 0-2.
Leeds fastball will touch 98 miles an hour, so you've got to gear up for that. And then he throws the split or the slider after in the upper 80s. Tough to cover both.
That looked like the split. League has it, 1 out. So Dexter Fowler.
This will be Dexter's first pinch hit appearance of the season.
And he takes strike 1. And that's there. ball, 2 strikes on Dexter. Pitching matchups in Miami. Moyer and Burley we talked about Monday. Nicasio and Ricky Nolasco on Tuesday. And then Alex White on Wednesday against Carlos Zambrano. You forgot he was with Miami, didn't you?
Well, because he's been quiet. You haven't heard anything about him.
No, he's behaved himself, but guess what? He's got a 1.96 ERA.
Well, and that's part of the reason he went there is because of Ozzie Guillen. Ozzie thought that he could control him and contain his outbursts.
This ball's crushed to right. Stay fair. It's gone. Home run, Dexter Fowler. His 5th jack of the year. And it's 6-3. Boy, he turned on that.
19th RBI. That was a no-doubter.
That was a no-doubter. Well, the only thing that was in doubt was fair or foul, but you're right. I know what you mean. Distance-wise, it was.
Yeah, he knew it, too.
And that's interesting, Hugh, because it was a slider. They were trying to go to that weak spot, that big hole. And he didn't quite get it down there, and Dexter made him pay.
All 5 of his home runs this year, Drew, left-handed. You know, people always want to talk about, oh, Dexter should only hit right-handed. Well, not when you're able to still turn on the baseball, and it did not get its location.
The Rockies' 4th pinch homer of the year, and it's 2-0 on EY.
Dexter hitting close to 270 now left-handed.
See Giambi with a helmet on, but I'm thinking, who's he going to hit for? You have Scudero on deck. You have to set the table and get over his head. He will. So EY with a base hit. Scudero coming up. Then you have, well, maybe not. Scudero's being called back, and Giambi will hit right here. He's obviously behind him. You have Cargo, Tulowitzki, and Help.
You're also looking at Giambi's on-base percentage. That's the other thing. It's not just to hit the 2-run home run, but his on-base percentage is .474. About 140 points higher than Scudero.
And that's what Jim Tracy was weighing versus the possibility of an inning of a game-ending double play.
Yeah, because you've got to roll the dice and figure if he gets on, now I've got Carlos Gonzalez one swing of the bat to tie it up. And they're going with the shift, the Giambi shift with the shortstop on the second base side.
EY takes off, and it's smoked through the left side. A base hit for Giambi. EY to third. Here come the Rockies, perhaps. Tying run will come up in the person of Carlos Gonzalez. And Brandon Lee maybe having a Cleveland flashback.
Where he went just a third of an inning, gave up 3 walks, couple hits, 2 runs in that Cleveland outing. And now it's deja vu all over again. How about the smart hitting from Jason Giambi? Because he saw where the shortstop Brennan Ryan was. He saw what the third baseman was, Kyle Seager, what he was doing. With Eric Young Jr. running on the play, Seager broke towards third because he had to make sure that he was close enough to that. And now, with Giambi at first, you'll get the pinch runner in Alex White.
That's the second time that White's been a pinch runner. We've also seen him as a pinch hitter.
Remember, it was Aaron Cook a couple years ago that was a designated pinch runner for Jason Giambi.
And years ago, I know the cynics would say, oh, well, that's what they ended up getting from Mike Hampton. But Mike Hampton not only would pinch hit, Mike Hampton would pinch runs. Mike Hampton was a Florida State defensive back recruit before turning to baseball full time. So here we go. First and third, Cargo at the plate. Base hit to center field. And it is 6-4. And I'll tell you what, they're not seeing a lot of pitches from the league. They're going right after him. Young went right after him. Giambi first pitch, Cargo first pitch. RBI number 32 for Gonzalez, who has a 3-hit day.
If you've heard the term of frozen rope in baseball, that was it. Because that was smoked right back up the middle. You couldn't hit that any harder than what Carlos Gonzalez did.
That was squared up.
Well, by the time Brendan Ryan finished jumping at shortstop, the center fielder was picking up the ball. When he landed and came back and hit the ground, shortstop has it, or the center fielder has it.
Tulowitzki, the winning run. And Troy hits it on the ground at third. He's got to get up the line. Low throw, bobbled at first.
And I'm going to give the credit to Carlos Gonzalez on that play. As hard as he went into second base, he broke that up, disrupted the timing of Dustin Ackley. Because that's a two-hopper. Feeds fine, but watch Carlos Gonzalez go in late and leg whip him. Watch his left leg go into him.
You know what? And also get that forearm up a little bit.
Cause the bobble of Justin Smoke.
Well, the Rockies still alive, down by 2. Tulowitzki's the tying run, Helton at the plate. Todd's 0 for 4. The first guy in 4 hitters not to swing at the first pitch, a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Here's the 1-1. Fouled off. Alex White running for Giambi's at third. Tulowitzki, who just ground into the fielder's choice at first. Fowler's home run got it going. Then a single by EY. Single by the pinch hitter Giambi. Single by Gonzalez. And Todd bounces it foul. Michael Kadire on deck, who's had a big day, hoping for an opportunity. He's had 3 hits today, including 2 doubles.
What a great time for Todd to break out of his slump.
Absolutely, and for the Rockies collectively to find something good in what has been a very difficult season thus far. That's fouled off.
These are the type of at-bats we're accustomed to seeing.
They are. Ball being sprayed, foul balls every which way. Frustrating a pitcher who's already deep into his arsenal. One and 2. He went heater and he missed 2 and 2.
Trying to stay away from him. He's not gonna let him beat him inside.
If Todd hits one to right center field, Tulowitzki will have a chance to score. 3 and 2.
Troy at first just has to make sure they don't pull the third to first.
There's Kadire.
Make sure he delivers the ball home.
So Troy is off and is swung on and missed. Brandon League survives. He strikes out Helton. And the Rockies rally, falls a couple of runs short in the 9th inning. And Sunday has bitten the Rockies again. They are swept by the Seattle Mariners. The final score 6-4. Blake Bevan gets the win. He's 2-4. Jeremy Guthrie takes the loss. He is 2-2. This afternoon's delivery of the game is brought to you by Jimmy John's, America's favorite sandwich delivery guys. Visit JimmyJohns.com to find a location near you. Justin Smoke in the third inning goes deep, back to back with Jesus Montero. Our Jimmy John's delivery of the game. Once again, the final score, Seattle wins it 6-4. They have swept the Rockies. The Rockies 1-4 on this 5-game homestand. It's off to Miami. The Toyota postgame show is up next.